we're going to talk to the Chairman Electoral Commission. We will have a comparison of how it were 2021, how ready are they for 2026, are there any changes, what some incidences of 2021, how are we making adjustments 2026, and a number of issues, how they have been, have they changed, we hear they are now in a new home, all that we are going to know in this discussion. So join me, welcome the Chairman Electoral Commission, His Lordship, Justice Simon Byabakama. My Lord, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Lokomo.
I last talked to you at the Tally Center in Jambogo, 2021. So because it is your season,
yes,
you can't avoid me again.
Yes.
So how have you been since then up to now? You yourself and as the whole entity, the Electoral Commission of Uganda.
We've been well.
Okay.
The commission has been moving on quite well. We have been conducting a number of by-elections arising out of the 2021 general elections. We also, thank God, I have a new term of office together with my colleagues, some of my colleagues, and we have 3 new members who have joined us in this term.
Among them is Dr. Simba.
Dr. Simba, exactly. Absolutely, absolutely. Is one of our,
yes,
our new commissioners. So by and large, the commission has been busy, and we are ready to continue serving the people of Uganda.
You came at the helm of the commission around 2017?
2017.
How would you describe your tenure up to now?
Well, I think we have performed to the best of our abilities in execution of the mandate of the commission. And I'm proud that in my first term, we were able to organize elections for LOC1 and LOC2, which had not taken place for about 16 years. We also organized elections for women in councils, women committees, which had also taken a long time without being held. As we speak now, the current LOC1, LOC2, or administrative units committees we have in the country were those which were elected in 2018 under our watch. So we are proud. Secondly, we also organized, I think, a general election under the most challenging circumstances or environment posed by COVID-19.
True.
And in spite of the restrictions, the necessary restrictions which were necessary in order to prevent the spread of the virus, we were able, with the cooperation of the people of Uganda, to hold an election within the confines of Article 61, Clause 2, or within the timelines of time frames of that article. And it was a successful exercise. We have also been having a number of by-elections, as I've said, since the 2021 general elections, which have also been well concluded. We are heading for another one in Kawempe North on the 13th of this month. So we have been sensitizing the people of Uganda about their civic rights, civic duties, and their rights under the Constitution. We have also been conducting vote education among tertiary institutions. We have been mobilizing the youth against episodes of violence, against hate speech, against commercialization of politics, and so on and so forth. So we have been quite busy and been engaging with the Ugandan people, because we realize as a commission that in order for us to have a credible, free and fair election, the Electoral Commission cannot work in isolation. We need to work hand in hand with all stakeholders in the country.
In their different capacities.
In their different capacities, because each stakeholder has a role to play in the quest or in the process of a free and fair election. So we have been reminding stakeholders, we've been reminding Ugandans that if we want a free and fair election, each one of us has a part to play.
We hear you are no longer at Ginger Road Yard.
Yes. Oh, sure, thank you.
We've heard of shake-ups within your administrative system.
Yes.
Is it twice now?
Yes.
what exactly is happening? Give us a picture of the administration.
Yeah, okay. Now, first of all, remember we were...
And possibly, if you can tell us the cause for the shake-ups.
We were previously at Ginger Road, but you know, there is this Kampala flyover project, which has been launched by government, and we have seen the developments that have taken place along those lines. And our area, our premises at Ginger Road, were within the line, within the area of that project.
Area for the construction.
Yeah, for the construction of flyover projects. So government advised that we should leave and get somewhere to go. The original idea was for us to get a home of our own, but it became a little bit challenging until government decided that the government is going to construct for us a customized home, under the auspices of National Housing Construction Corporation. In the meantime, National Housing was asked to accommodate us. These are premises of National Housing, where we are currently tenants and they are our landlords. We believe that by God's grace, all factors being equal, we shall be able to move to a new home in the foreseeable future. Now, on the issue of the commission, well, the commission is functioning normally. Of course, we have had a few changes. We have had some of our staff who have sought early retirement.
Me, I used the word of shake-up.
Shake-up? For us, okay, you call them shake-ups. For
You
us,
call it changes.
I call them changes. We have had some of our staff who have sought early retirement. We have instituted internal investigations on allegations of misuse of funds, and as a result, we have had to suspend some of our staff, which is in line with the HR manual, which says that if you are under investigation, then you should be suspended or something like that. So, but that does not affect or impact on the operations of the commission, because we have the necessary personnel to fill those spaces that have been left by people who have either who have retired or who have been suspended.
You know, when we had this thing, it sounded big in the ears.
Yes.
Because you are an entity that has to be looked at with a lot of integrity.
Yes.
Holding national elections and such activities.
Yes.
If you have queries in managing shillings.
Yes. But you know, Mr. Lukomwa, the issue of the allegations of misappropriation or misuse of funds is everywhere. I think it covers the entire civil or public service space or something like that. And I think one thing I want to highlight is that we have zero tolerance for corruption. So any instance or allegation of corruption is taken seriously, and that's why we decided to launch these investigations.
Since your appointment, you have presided over a general election in Uganda, 2021, and you mentioned the women's LC1 and all other kind of elections. How would you describe, as a Ugandan, as to your level now, as a man at the helm of the Electoral Commission, how would you describe our electoral processes in this country?
You know, when you are in charge of something,
yes,
your belief is that I'm doing my best. I think it is probably you benefit from the views of others, what we call the outsiders, to tell you whether you are doing a good job or not. But obviously, of course, there are certain aspects we also observe as managers about our electoral processes in Uganda. First of all, they have become extremely competitive.
Okay. Very competitive.
To the extent that they have acquired an aura of do or die. People, and in the process, it has become very commercialized. Elections in this country have become very commercialized. People are using huge sums of money, huge sums of money to contest or to vie for some of these positions, which you have said is very unfortunate. Thirdly, we also noticed that because of the do or die nature of these elections, some people have resorted to unfortunate conduct, like engaging in violence or something like that. Some people have resorted to outright criminalities, like attacking polling stations and trying to ballot staff or even ballot staffing, because it is I either win or they lose. So that kind of attitude has therefore tended to impact on our electoral processes in a manner that raises tension, in a manner that creates some bit of uncertainty. And that's why, as a commission, we've been urging the people of Uganda that our elections do not have to become a do or die matter.
When you look at the 2021 general elections, the by-elections that came after, and now Kawempe, there has been a lot of violence. Kawempe is just a week, but already a lot is happening. They are on all the prime stories in the news, not for the good reasons. What do you think explains the violence and the bitterness? And I would say on both sides, the security people look too angry, just as the voters. What do you think explains this?
First of all, it's very unfortunate. What we have seen playing out in Kawempe is most unfortunate. And on Tuesday, we had a meeting with the security chiefs in this very boardroom, and we were discussing the issues and the matters that have been observed about Kawempe in the last few days. What is the cause of this violence? First and foremost, violence is perpetrated by people. Secondly, we realize that the bigger problem comes from unwillingness on the part of some actors to act within the law and the guidelines issued by the Electoral Commission. If we say, please do not conduct processions, okay, when you are heading to the campaign venue, simply get in your vehicle and drive normally as you drive to the market or to town. But some people want to move in convoys with border riders and so on and so forth, and then you are moving at slow pace, you are disrupting other road users. Now, when security tries to come in and contain the situation and ensure that people comply with the traffic regulations and the guidelines issued by the Electoral Commission, this causes a confrontation.
Can you avoid that confrontation with the excitement that comes with the elections?
Yeah, but you see, the point we are making...
Because we have elections once in a while.
Yes.
Can you really avoid the excitement that comes with elections? For example, there is a by-election of 3 weeks or a month. Can we really stop it?
I think...
And what measures can you apply?
When you are exercising your right and your desire and, the desire to express yourself on something, I think you have to be cognizant of the desire of other people also to use the facility you are using while expressing your desire.
You are blamed of bias.
How?
People in Kawempe are saying there is a party that was allowed to have a procession wherever they are going. But it is just a section of us that are told to follow the EC guidelines.
Now, I think that should be put to the law enforcement agencies. Because you see, let me tell you one thing, Mr. Okomwa, and the viewers, that the Electoral Commission works with the Uganda Police Force in the electoral season. And our expectation is that they should maintain law and order. We do not, the Electoral Commission does not have command and control over Uganda Police Force or security agencies during election cycle. We do not control the deployment process.
Okay.
Now, and therefore, we do not determine how they are or they implement their mandate, they execute their mandate in terms of controlling or ensuring law and order prevails in the electoral process. So now, if they allow one group or one individual
to enjoy the rights they deny others,
then that is discriminatory. Okay. In my view, the law should be applied equally. The regulations we issue apply across the board to everyone. And that's why, before these candidates hit the campaign trail, we require all of them, whether they are presidential candidates, whether they are parliamentary or whatever elective position, we require them to sit together with the returning officer and they harmonize their respective campaign programs.
Yes.
Lokomwa says, me, I'm going to be in Kawempe Muslim Primary School playground.
That means some other person should
then this one should go here, and you saw them. You saw them, all the candidates were there after nominations. And then guidelines will issue that campaign should start at about 6 or 7 and end by 6 o'clock. That applies across everyone.
How much power as the Electoral Commission do you have over the security agencies that you work with? Because blames have been coming through all along. They are beating us, the electoral. You remember there were arrests during the 2021 elections of different presidential candidates. But these candidates were blaming UEC of looking away as they were facing these problems. It's like they think you have the power to call security to order because this is your season and you're in charge as the EC. How much power do you have over security in an election time?
First of all, as you have rightly put, the Electoral Commission is one mandated by the Constitution to organize and hold these elections. Secondly, any entity, government entity, or civil society organization that comes in to play a role should be mindful of the mandate and the authority of the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
And thirdly, whatever they do, they should not do it as of their own right as an entity that is mandated to do this. They should do it in the context of enabling the electoral processes activities to take place, to go on.
Yes.
They should not, in fact, we have always cautioned them that even when you deploy, you should ensure that you do not create an appearance or an atmosphere of a security exercise, okay? That you're undertaking a security operation of sorts. The whole essence of deployment of security in an electoral process is to create an enabling environment that will allow the exercise to go on at whatever level.
How do they fail to listen to
now,
that?
well, you know human nature, you know human beings. You deploy somebody, you go, you tell him or her, I think you have children. You tell your child, can you go and do this? He or she does something else. You get me? So it's part of human nature. But the point I'm making is that the authority, the indication of the authority we have over the entire process, for instance, is exhibited or revealed by the fact that when something is said to be going awry or wrong with the security, we summon them. We summoned them on Tuesday.
In comparison with how 2021 was, how ready are you as the Commission for 2026? You've had a whole time lag of 5 years to prepare.
Yes.
How ready are you this time round?
One, the Electoral Commission, the preparation of the Electoral Commission is clear-cut. Clear-cut in the sense that your preparations are premised on Article 61, Clause 2, which stipulates the period within which the general election should be held. We begin that process by launching what we call the roadmap to the general elections. And in this particular case, it was launched in August 2023, where we spare out all the activities, absolutely, from day one, from the first activity up to the last, that is polling and declaration of results. So that is a measure of being prepared. Secondly, the other thing is now to have a budget that we represent to government, covering the entire electoral cycle. Thirdly, the other activity is for us now to start implementing the activities in a timely manner, because the activities of the general elections or any election are sequenced. One leads to the other. If you delay to embark on this activity, then it also means you're going to delay the next one, something like that. So we have got to be very cautious. We've got to be mindful that these activities have strict timelines. Thirdly or fourthly, we also now go into recruiting the temporary staff that we require to carry out the various activities. So I want to say that we are prepared. The preparations are not starting now. They started right from the time we launched the roadmap. And we have already executed a number of activities in the roadmap. One, we started with the reorganizing, demarcation of electoral areas for local government elections. We also went into reorganization of polling stations, okay? Because you know every other year the number of voters go up.
Yes.
Because so many Ugandans become eligible every day they turn 18 and become eligible voters.
And that's the determinant for the demarcation.
Absolutely. That terms the demarcations, the organizations of the polling, and the number of police stations we are going to have. We have also just concluded the update of the National Voters Register. We are now processing the data which we gathered from this exercise. And come 17th April, we are going to display the register at all polling stations in the country. The voters at every polling station will come and scrutinize the register and confirm whether their names are on the register at the right polling station. So we are moving on seamlessly, in my view. We are moving on seamlessly, and that is a hallmark of our preparation, because elections is not a mere event. It is a process and a series of activities.
Besides COVID-19, what are those other big kind of challenges or hurdles that you jumped as the EC 2021? And with their considerations, are there some adjustments that you're making this time around?
Well, COVID was the biggest hurdle or challenge, because with it came the restrictions, and with it came a departure from the norm, the usual way of doing elections or campaigns and so on and so forth. Now we pray and hope we won't have another pandemic or epidemic like COVID, which will impose similar restrictions. But as I said, again, with or without COVID, the whole issue revolves on the conduct of the actors.
Okay.
How do we conduct ourselves in this electoral cycle?
In terms of everyone playing their demarcated role.
Absolutely. Everyone playing by the book or according to the rules, avoiding violence, avoiding bribery, avoiding hate speech, avoiding chaos, mayhem. You see? So it is whether it's not that because in 2021 there was COVID-19 and now maybe we don't have it and therefore the conduct will be different. No, again, the human factor. You see, in all these electoral processes, we should not lose sight of what we call the human factor, the human element. What do the people of Uganda choose? How do the people of Uganda choose to behave or to conduct themselves during elections? Are they going to be confrontational? Some people, mind you, Mr. Lukomwa,
yes, they
deliberately go out to confront security or law enforcement.
Or even electoral officials.
Or even electoral officials. Because I'm told for some people, I hear, mbu, as they say, that when they confront security and they are handled in such a way that it gives them some bit of popularity or capital, political capital, something like that, which is unfortunate. So I think even as we head to 2026, the defining factor will be how are the people going to conduct themselves.